Ben's putting the tokens back on. Can everybody see the map now?
Yeah, map looks good.
Good.
I'll close that other warehouse map.
Yeah, don't need that one anymore. I like that art, it looks good.
Seems to be a little bit better on my end now for some reason.
Yeah, it's been clear so far since I got back on. I have Ben muted. Oh, Ben, you still have yourself muted because of the call. So unmute yourself. Not from your headphones. You need to. There you go. Okay, go ahead. Say something.
Is that better?
Yep. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Maybe we're in business now. Is Becky still there?
Yep.
All right. Hit play on the sounds again, G.
Incoming.
Cool. And then remember the volume slider for that is the one on the bottom left. The one on the right is actually just for scrolling through if there's a ton of extra soundboard stuff.
Okay. How's the background sounds now? I turned it down. Is that too low or
It's
is it good?
it's still playing, but it's really quiet.
Okay. Any better?
I think so. It's still pretty quiet too, but maybe like what is it at right now?
About 75.
Go ahead and bump it up to 100. I assume that's where it was, right? Was 100?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead and put it back up to 100
That
for
sounds
now. Yeah, like okay. That sounds okay right there.
right there. It's like 85, 90. So. Okay, so actually I don't know if you guys heard me earlier, but I was mistaken last week. You guys are downstairs, and the guy that you found that Ghost sniffed out was in the closet. He wasn't downstairs. So that's the last thing that you guys did, if I'm not mistaken, is that Rob and Ghost found somebody in a back room who was wearing nice clothes, and there was ropes on the floor. Looks like he had just gotten himself free, and he looks like he's frightened and has no idea what's going on. So.
Okay, so the square around him is at the closet then, so this would be the door right there in front of me?
Yeah, and he just doesn't fit quite directly in there. He's not inside the wall.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, the token scaling is a little awkward sometimes. But okay, all right, so we've I guess we didn't necessarily know that was him, but because of the interrogation for the Kenku, we'd kind of pieced together that it was the noble. Okay. It's cutting out a little bit. Like, I think I'm still hearing the sounds. Oh, fucking Christ. Does it really have to mess up, like, the only goddamn day we're playing? Thanks, Jesus. We could do like TeamSpeak or something if you guys want to. Well, TeamSpeak, Sako, do you know if TeamSpeak requires a spare server, or is there like a free version we can use? Sako probably can't hear me. Never mind. So there actually is an outage reported specifically in Sacramento. There's one in Roseville that's or one in, well, that area that's reported in, and there's looks like one in Redding-ish area, south of Wairika somewhere. But there's nothing posted specific. Well, I mean that's where network is, not where users are.
second account.
All right, I'm looking for where to invite. I started a party, but I don't see where to add friends. You know what? I'm just going to download the app. It'll probably be easier to use than the web-based one, anyways. It's a free alternative for Discord, and it actually looks a little bit similar, so it should be easy enough to use as a backup when Discord's not working. Is everybody getting it set up?
Move to take.
All right, friend request set. Blah, blah, blah. Testing. Blah, blah, blah. Testing. Anybody hear this? Testing, testing. Okay. So what you'll need to do real quick is we're just going to set it the same way that Discord is, and then that way, in the future, if Discord ever breaks, we can just switch to using this real quickly. If you haven't already, bottom right, top right corner, there should be a button that says Join Voice with a little waveform icon. Do you guys see that? Yep. Okay, I can hear you. Did you hear me, Becky?
Now I can.
Cool. You just click that Join Voice button, right?
I just clicked the little blue phone down on the bottom.
Cool. I think that's probably the same button anyway. But we'll adjust the settings real quick, and then Sirenscape and everything should all pipe through this one the same way. Sako, I can hear you, but you're either breathing straight on the mic or your mic sensitivity is really high. Well, we'll adjust it real quick. Okay, yeah, so Sako, to change it real quick, it's actually pretty simple. Down in the bottom right corner, Sako, you can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, bottom right corner, there's a little gear icon that's to the left of the red phone, the hang up icon. Click that gear. For general, set the input and the output to wherever you want them. The volume levels, probably max, or usually Discord is max, so whatever you want it to be. But then there's your input and output, so set those to the same settings you have in Discord. And then if you want to, there's a push-to-talk key. Just click the push-to-talk section to find it. Becky, Ben, I'm not sure if he saw the message for the join, but he hasn't joined voice yet, so do you mind helping him real quick? Thank you.
All right, where's that push to talk? Okay, I got it. Push here.
And Becky, can you still hear me, Becky? Are you walking with like your headphones on or something?
Yeah, no, I walked back to the room to help him.
Yeah, I didn't know you had wireless headphones on too. Okay, so in that case, actually, Becky, we're going to change the. Okay, I see Ben joined. For Ben, we'd have to run a second instance. Okay, so we won't have the Sirenscape. Yeah, it's good, Sako. We can hear you. For now, Becky, just set the input and outputs both to his headphones in the settings there, and then you can set a push to talk if he's using push to talk. We'll set up later on, G. Well, I'm not sure if Ben can hear me yet, but either way, we'll set up the Sirenscape second instance later on for overtone, just as a full 100% backup in case Sirenscape or in case Discord's acting up in the future. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So we are back in business finally.
Everybody here? Sako here?
Yep, good.
Cool.
All right. And then what I was telling Becky, Ben, I'm not sure if you were audible at that point. I think I'll look for it, but I think we can set up a second instance of overtone to work the exact same way that Discord does for Sirenscape. So in the future, if Discord's ever acting up, we can just all quickly switch over to Overtone without having to be at any difficulty, basically. I just heard myself feedback. Good timing, right? So far, so good, I think. Is it clear? You guys hearing me feedback? Okay. Yeah, I only heard it for a second. I'm thinking that it was probably like somebody else held push to talk at the same time or something. Okay. Let's get started.
Again, yep, you guys found Ghost Rob sent out some dirty looking guy in nice clothes in that closet back there. That was the last thing that happened.
Did we? So the interrogation we got from the Kenku, we'd already pretty much assumed that he was here. So I'll just ask him then. Are you Lord Neverember?
He says, yeah, what the hell's been going on here? They had me locked up back here, just got myself freed, and then gonna make a run for it, but I heard some fighting going on, and I don't know what to kill. So, yeah, my name's Rainier.
Well, we took care of the fighting. They're all dead now, but we were looking for somebody named Floon. Do you know who that is? I mean, we'll get you out of here, of course, but that's who we're really looking for. You were just accident.
Yeah, I know exactly who Floon is. He and I were drinking the other night. We left. I knew he had too much, so I was going to walk him home. And we got jumped by some guys. Ended up in this warehouse. They took Floon, guessing they thought that he was me, though. I would assume, because I don't really know why they would want him. And if I have money, so that's what they want to kidnap us. So I think it might have been a mistaken identity there.
Out of character for a second then, Floon was well dressed anyways. Like, was he well dressed enough to have been mistaken for a noble?
Yeah, that's what it is, because Floon was well dressed as well too. So, and clean, and clean cut and all that stuff. So
Okay. Does it seem like he's telling the truth?
yeah, you wouldn't even need to roll for that one. He definitely seems honest. He's just happy to be freed and not run into some friendlies instead of more people trying to hurt him. So.
Becky, did it just cut out? S- Yeah, scroll down, Sako. Yeah. You can't hear us at all? Like, were you hearing us for a while and then it stopped, or what? Yeah, I can still hear everybody just fine. Yeah, I hear you guys just fine. Wondering if her battery died, because everything else seems fine. Like, we can all hear each other just fine. Oh. Yeah, and we're actually hearing you fine, too. Check your... Well, I've heard her fine every time she's spoken. You're still not hearing us then, Becky? Yeah, she's. If she said anything, can you hear her just in the house? Because I've heard her when she's spoken.
Yeah, I don't hear her on the audio.
I'm still hearing you fine, G. Yeah, I mean, I've been I have push to talk. I turned on push to talk for this one. I realized that I'd still left the non push to talk basically just permanently open, which would be more annoying for everybody else. When you're the DM, it makes more sense, but when you're not, then it's more annoying. Okay, was it just that the device was not set or something? Okay. Well, hopefully it's just growing pains for the transition to a new program. Can't have 2 fucking programs die in the same day. Alright. So we believe him then, that's what he's saying. Since he hasn't come out yet, I'll go ahead and... you know what? Let's look around first, make sure that the rest of the place is safe. So I'll just tell him, just hold here for a second. Let's make sure that there aren't any more Kenku or, other assassins or somebody just hiding behind boxes somewhere.
He says, I can't contest to that. So I'll wait right here.
He does seem, he doesn't seem like he was involved though, right? Like he does seem scared the way that he should be, I suppose. Like he seems like he's telling the truth.
Yeah. There's no reason to believe that he's not so far telling the truth. So.
Okay. Well, let's scout the place out real quick. Make sure that nobody else is going to hop in and surprise us.
All right. From where you guys are at, you can see the rest of the bottom floor, and there's nothing else moving down here.
Sako, Becky, you guys, you're still there, right? Okay. I'm gonna head upstairs. What do you guys want to look? Do you want to head with? Is there anything down here you guys see that looks of interest? Ghost is really tiny. Hold down control and then mouse wheel up while you're mousing over him to make him a little bit bigger. Like he's, yeah, I mean, like there, he's like dog size. That's probably maybe one more notch. There you go. Just so it doesn't look like a chihuahua. He gets advantage on perception rolls, yeah. If they're scent based. Yeah, exactly.
Up there and he is sniffing around and stuff. You assume, and you don't hear anything. He doesn't growl or doesn't seem startled or anything like that. So he sniffs around for a minute and he comes back down, looks at the top of the stairs and just kind of sitting on the edge, wagging his tail back.
While he was heading upstairs to sniff around and look, I'm gonna pop open a couple of these crates and look inside. Dumb dog.
Looking in the crates downstairs, you see nothing really of importance, just like old clothes or clothes and stuff like that, but not anything that seems like it would really be worth any value.
The clothes, then, I wasn't too concerned with value. I was more trying to tell if this is, I guess based on the sign on the door, probably is. What I'm looking for is, was this just a random kind of an ambush location that people were using as a gang hideout, or was it basically, is this a set location that this gang was using or is it just kind of a a random warehouse that has just been abandoned? So the stuff that's in there, does it look like the stuff that is the clothes? I guess, is it the same clothes that they're wearing, or the kinds of clothes they're wearing?
No, when you were going through those, it just seems like this warehouse was a warehouse, or still is, and maybe they threw the owners or whatever out. Who knows? But the stuff that you're going through just seems like standard goods that have been shipped here and stored here before they've been distributed.
Okay.
So it doesn't seem like they have. They're not related to the.
Okay.
Guys, the thugs you've been seeing around.
So they put the symbol on the door then, but didn't use this as a a permanent base or something. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go up with Ghost then and Akasha to check upstairs. What's Eldor doing? Yep.
When you're looking at again, actually, it's a long wall over there. It's not gonna be fast, but it was along the bodies that you guys found. There was bodies along the wall over here. Sorry, but that's where those bodies were. And there was some like weapons next to them. None of them that stand out as anything too valuable, like daggers, rapiers, and stuff like that. With the bodies along the wall there, and then besides that, nothing really stands out much down here. Just the blood from the killing, and then there's still the dead cat. Two bodies of four of them that you guys killed earlier. Nope, nothing that seems to really stand out.
Yeah, with the nobleman still in the closet, I want to check out upstairs, but I want to keep an eye out because basically from the map that we had last week anyways, you could see that the upstairs overlooks this floor, meaning we can look over a railing and see down to where we're standing right now on the map. So what I'm going to do is I just want to keep an eye downstairs and then listen, obviously, if anybody's trying to come in after us or anything like that, or if there's more basically I don't want more of these Kenku to sneak in after us and try to attack us. So I want to keep an ear out and watch the door. That door was the only other way in, right? Because we scouted the outside of it, the only way in basically was the door, so they'd have to come in through that yard. So we would know if there's not anybody else in here, basically, we should be safe unless somebody comes in through that door, so we'll be able to tell.
Yeah, there's up in the upstairs area. There's no other doors except for the ones that you guys came through. There's those big bay doors, but they were locked, and then there was that window that was locked as well too. So the door that you guys came through, that's all in the yard area that you guys came through, as you can see on the map. Down to the southwest you guys, there was the big bay door in the window and the door down there, and that's all entrances you guys can see.
Okay. Don't let the nobleman escape before we get our answers from him. All right, let's check upstairs if you want to reveal that, G.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up some of that. So. I don't know if I got it, but to the west, that's the wall right there at the end. So.
You got just a little bit of it. You can even when the map has a little bit of like oversplash, if there's like a a black or a white background, you can even go over it. It's not going to hurt anything. Just what you want to be careful of is if there's like a secret door or something like that, or a hallway, then just be careful not to go too far over that it shows those things.
And then you guys would also.
Sako, if you use your zoom thing, or not zoom, but the move thing in the bottom right corner, if you move your map over to the right, you should see that the other area the second floor has been revealed. And then you can just move your token over.
Is Ghost still staying over by the door? Okay. And when you guys come up here, you'll notice that there's also crates up here all over the place as well too, and some more of those like downstairs. There's broken chairs and stuff like that too.
So it just looks like it was a disheveled and abandoned warehouse that these guilds or gangs or whatever, criminal guilds, have been using for staging points or something.
Just 1 second, I'm just double checking everything. Alright, actually, Rob, can you give me a perception check, please?
Perception 23.
I don't think that would definitely be good enough. So, you also looked up here and noticed that there was draped along the wall, there was like a tapestry, but you noticed that there was kind of a ribbon, and it looks like the pattern of the wood on the wall right there was a little bit different behind that the tapestry there. So, and with that perception check, you notice that, as you can see now, revealed on the map, that there was a secret door behind there. So,
I'm gonna.
just to your notice.
Okay, I'm gonna, taking my spear point, kind of keeping it ahead of me and moving the tapestry out of the way. I'm just gonna look over my shoulder at Akasha and Eldor and then motion this direction to show them, that there's something here in case there's anybody hiding behind it. I know Ghost didn't smell it, but just in case.
AFK, 1 second, guys. Get that.
All right. We kind of lucked out that this other audio app was similar, at least in function and in design, so that it's similar enough that we can kind of move over to it quickly. As long as there's a test build version or the ability to run a backup of it, we'd basically be able to switch over like seamlessly and still keep audio or still keep sounds and everything. Yeah. It actually, so far, and it could just be me, it could just, well, also that, we don't have the sound running too, but it sounds actually clear to me, or is it just me? You've had to do that more than the once? Well, that's not good. Okay. Where is that in case, because I haven't seen that. Where do we have to do, or where do you do that so that we can do it in case we need to? And it's cutting out Ben too when that happens? Okay. Because we don't, or at least I don't see that in my settings anywhere. There's no update settings, so if something is happening that, it recognizes that it's losing your audio. Do you still have, are you still in Discord in the voice chat? No, the sounds is, but you're not. Maybe close, did you actually exit out of Discord as well? You shouldn't need to, it shouldn't matter, but might be worth a shot. Maybe Discord is still trying to hold on to your audio. That might have been the process threads. You're on Windows 10, right? Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, for now, at least it looks like this one's going to work okay. So we'll switch back, of course, when Discord's actually working. But at least as a backup, this is functional. All right, G. So spear kind of in front. I guess, is it dark back there, or are we getting because there's no windows, right? So I guess all the light that's coming in is coming in through the front door. So it's still pretty dark then.
There's actually, I'm sorry, I'll double check, but there actually is some windows up here too. Nothing that opens. So.
Okay, so there is light behind this secret door.
Yeah. And there's throughout the upstairs. There's a few windows at least, so it's not like it's dark in there. So.
Okay.
And there's no light coming through the door. Well, you can actually look up under. There's some light coming up from under the door. Yeah. But
And I wanna listen just real quietly, at the door. Not necessarily ear all the way to the door, but listen just to see, like, is there noise coming from behind it at all?
That'd be another perception, right?
Yeah.
That'd be a check, right? Okay.
Not good.
You don't hear anything.
Well, it seems quiet, guys. You want to check it out? Right. Okay. Then spear up. I'm gonna. Is it a door, or is it just like a panel that pushes open, or what?
It's a regular door with an off.
Oh, okay. The tapestry was just covering it then. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sure, go ahead and give me your perception, please. Yeah, you definitely got a good roll. No, you don't sense any danger at all, and when you look closer to the door guide and inspecting it, you didn't hear anything at all. It doesn't sound like there's any kind of movement or anything except for a few little skaters across the floor, but you just assume it's rats or something very small. They don't sound dangerous at all. You don't hear any breathing. Nothing like that. And there was no traps and no wires around it, none of that. So, and, yeah, that was it. Sorry.
All right, then I'll turn the doorknob, spear in front of me in case anything, is anything I can stop, I guess, with it. But just kind of slowly open the door and look behind.
Open it up, you see there's just like a Eldor would notice that there was nothing, moving or anything in there. And you open it up and you see that there is a couple of crates in this room, and then there is a door to the left, so to the west, and then a window straight across from you that is looks out actually onto the street, because you guys the yard level of was a little bit lower, and this actually looks out onto the street. So even though you guys are upstairs.
Okay, and the door that's to the west there, that's a normal door as well.
Yeah, standard wooden door.
Okay. Same process. I mean, if we didn't hear anything else coming from here, I'm going to go ahead and just open that and look through. It doesn't sound like the gang actually used this place more than they just kind of found an empty warehouse and just used it as a temporary thing. So it's probably not trapped. Presumably, there probably isn't going to be a lot here. It's still worth being careful, of course. To be honest, I want to get a little more playing in before we're over, before we have to end for the day. So.
No, you guys do as much as you want. And again, you still don't hear anything or anything. And when you look over the railing last time before you went in the room, Rob, you didn't see anything moving.
Okay. All right, I'm going to open this door and peek inside. And G, when you're drawing the square, make it a little bit bigger, because every time you draw one, there's a bar basically that's still masked. So, for example, the door that Eldor is standing in front of right now, that he just walked through, there's still a bar there, and there's actually one before that that we can't see. It doesn't hurt anything. It just makes it, just basically covers up sections of the map. So you basically, you can overlap it. Like if you overlap into a space that's already revealed, it doesn't hide it or anything. It just leaves it revealed. So it's okay to make the box a little bit bigger than you need. Just be careful not to uncover stuff that you, like a secret door or something like that.
Okay, so the door to the left is part way covered, so you mean? Or what?
Yeah, the door to the left is partway covered, but the door to the south, the one that Eldor just walked through, there's actually a big gray bar that's in front of that. So basically some of the room is still covered a little bit. It's not much. It's not... Yeah, it's not enough to hurt anything, but basically there's a gray line there, and then there's another one to the south of that where the tapestry was hiding the door. Yeah, okay, you just fixed the first one. Then the one there's still one like between Eldor and the door. There's still a gray bar there. It doesn't. Don't worry about it. It doesn't hurt anything. Just when you are revealing part of it, go ahead and you can make the box a little bit bigger than you otherwise need to, as long as it's not going to reveal a secret room or something. Like if you zoom your map in, you can basically put it in the middle of a wall, and it'll be fine, because then it'll cover the whole way around. We'll be able to see the wall and everything too.
Okay, and now when you guys go through, guys, when you went up to the other door, are you just listening in, or what you guys doing?
I'm just opening it. I mean, because we listened at the first one. As long as this one's not trapped, then we're good. Because we didn't hear any sound, so we would have heard through this door as well. Yeah, the room is only 10 feet across, so it wouldn't have, would have been enough. We would have heard. So are those all doors? I guess that one in the north is probably a window. It's kind of bluish.
The one across the north is another window, yes. And then there are 2 doors, so. There is a couple of crates in this room, and they actually look... Actually, one of them is a slightly askew on the top of it, and you look over and see that there is... It looks like another piece of wood inside the crate.
A piece of wood, like a chunk of, like a board or something?
No, it actually looks a little bit like it looks like finished wood, so not the same as what the crate is made out of.
When do you guys want to take a look at that, and I'll listen at the doors, see if there's, that's probably of interest anyways, and I'll just make sure there's nobody going to sneak up on us from the doors.
So, you guys open it up, and you look and see that there is actually paintings in there, little frames for paintings. So, there is one that is a painting of, not that you guys would even know what this is, neither do I that much, but one is a painting of the city of Ruscan, one of Neverwinter, one of Silvery Moon, and one of Baldur's Gate. They all says the bottom with the artist's name at the bottom. You don't recognize the name, but it says the locations being painted of each one.
They look expensive,
What the picture is. They actually look like they're pretty nice.
so probably stolen stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah, if you had, yeah, I mean that's probably what you would assume. So maybe there was something that they used this warehouse for instead of just trying to stash the normal guy here. So looks like maybe they had some stuff that they had stolen here.
How big are these paintings? I mean, they're probably too big to throw in a bag.
No, they're not too big. They're at decent size, but you guys could probably carry them out. I don't think it would fit in a bag, but they're not real heavy either. So you guys could probably, as long as you don't accidentally drop them or get hit while you're carrying them or something, you could probably carry them out if you wanted to.
How many were you said there's 4, right? So this will probably be a strange question. Do any of them have a lot of purple in the painting? Like, are any of them like a evening dusk or anything like that painting?
No, actually, doesn't seem to be any glaring similarities, I guess you can say. I mean, like they're all of cities, so but like they don't all have like the same hue or anything like that, of a color on it or the same image on any of it in the same spot or anything like that.
Well, what I was curious about is if any of them had enough purple in it that they might be of interest to that little deep gnome Zoblob. Because basically, if carrying around 4 paintings is not going to be realistic unless we have somebody to sell it to that's close by. So it's either we tell somebody about these, because if these are stolen, then they would presumably be of value to whoever they were stolen from. But us carrying them isn't going to be viable unless we can carry it to somewhere nearby and then sell them. And if they had enough purple in them, then maybe the gnome guy would be interested in them. Like if it was a Twilight painting or something like that, where there's enough purple that maybe, because he seemed to only care about purple stuff, right?
That was pretty much everything in the shop was purple. Most of it was all the decorations and everything. It is garb and everything.
Well, up to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough in it that he might be interested in at least checking it out. And then if not, I mean, he is a businessman. He might be interested in just buying it and selling it to somebody else or something. So, well, that's again, that's if they are stolen, there's no guarantee that he's going to want to, but you could just try.
Well, if the crate's not too big that we can just carry it, that's fine. I just, I didn't want to be carrying big paintings on our backs or something like that, walking around town, especially when we've got to still get, this nobleman out of here, and he's going to be probably questioning why we're, stealing stuff from this warehouse. You said there's 2 crates, though, right?
Yeah, there was 2 crates.
What is I'm going to go ahead and look at the other one, I guess.
not super huge. They're, I don't know, maybe, 3 feet across or so, maybe 4. Not real big, so
Okay.
definitely carryable.
And
Fit in the backpack, it might be a little bit bigger.
yeah, Eldor is like 7 feet tall, so
True.
okay. What's in the other crate? Yeah, like it's probably a gang hideout where they were hiding stolen goods or something like that. But the thing I'm curious about is the fight between the guys with the snake tattoo and then whoever the other people were, and then I don't know if the Kenku were a third faction or not, because basically there were 12 people dead outside or in the front room, right? And that 5 of them had the snake tattoos. Those were presumably the guys that ambushed Floon and Never Ember and brought him here. And then there were 7 others rather. Of the 7, one of them had a circle tattoo with 10 spokes. So we don't know what that is yet, and we don't know if all of those people were from that same group with to represent that. And then the 4 Kenku, and we don't know if the Kenku were with either of those groups or if they were a totally third party. We just know that they were sent to kidnap Floon. Well, they were sent to kidnap presumably Never Ember and take him away, but they got the wrong guy, it seems like.
Yep.
So what's
The other crate. No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no? That's it. That was me. That was Jeremy. But what's the other crate?
That when you go open up the other crate, you look and see that there is, in bar shape, there's still a little bit of shine to it, but very corroded, what looks like silver bars. But they are, it's mostly surface, so, I mean, you could try and see if they're valuable still. Because they look like they're decent. I mean, they might be able to be buffed out a bit, because they're just not, the silver's not completely eaten away, but the top layer is corroded and black. And
So
there were 15 silver bars.
how heavy is that? Because those would fit in a bag easier.
When you pick one up, you'd estimate it's roughly 10 pounds or so.
That's going to be a lot of weight to go thrown in a backpack to carry around 150 extra pounds. We could split it up, though. Anybody willing to carry around an extra 50 pounds? like a doggy backpack?
What's that about?
Is there any way... Yeah, Eldor being as big as he is, but... Yeah, go ahead, Sokka. Eldor, a big old pack horse. All right, well, let's take those, at least the bars, because those we can turn over without them being so traceable. Like carrying around paintings that are obviously stolen, that's going to be hard to get rid of. We're going to have to find a fence, most likely, or at least somebody who doesn't care if they're buying stolen goods. Whereas bars, especially if we cleaned them up, these are like bank bars, right? I mean, they're not just chunks of steel or chunks of silver. Rather, they're like bank steel or damn it, bank silver.
Yeah, they are well cut. You'd assume they're made for trading. Yes, they're not raw or anything. They're finished. They're just corroded, and they are bullion.
Okay.
So actual good quality silver. Sorry.
Well, those have to be of some value, so like we can definitely take those and then the paintings if it's feasible to do so without it being too obvious or obstructing as far as having to carry them. Let's check these doors. What's behind these doors? And still no sounds or anything? Like we're not hearing it? Nobody's coming in after us?
No, you still don't hear anything, and there hasn't been any growls from those or anything.
He barks, remember?
Yes.
He's a cat that when he barks he spit bees at you. And then Eldor can just put a jar in front and he's got everything he needed.
Alright, when you guys open those, sorry. When you open those doors, you notice that it is office space. You see chairs, desks, and stuff like that. There's rats running around. Doesn't seem like there is. Which one are you guys going to go in first?
I'll take the north one. Looks like Eldor's gonna look through the south.
replacing both of them, chairs and desks and stuff like that. And you do notice that with both doors, when they open, you hear a bell ring.
Where are we hearing it from? Where does it sound like the bell's coming from?
It's right above your head.
Oh, okay. So
Open the door.
there's like a string that goes up to a bell above the door or something?
Yeah, it actually, when you go over and you look at it, it was set to ding every time the door opens. So the door hits a little thing, a little string that makes the bell ring.
Gotcha.
It was right above your head's on the inside of each door.
It's like a thank you come again kind of a bell.
Yeah. Alright, and actually, Sako, when you look around, you do see that there is a notepad on one of the desks. There's random papers and stuff torn and all that stuff all over the place, but there's a very still neat and in shape, like notepad, like sticky note kind of pad, it looks like, and it's in the shape of a bird sitting on the desk.
Alright, we'll just carefully take a look at that and see if there's anything I can read.
Pick it up and take a look at it. When you pick it up, you kind of feel like it's might be a little bit different than standard paper. You're not really sure, but when you look at it, it just looks like there's. I'll have to look it up, but just a few sheets on there of very good quality paper, and it's in the shape of a bird, but you get the feeling that it's might be something to it. So you're not sure yet.
Do an arcane check on it. It's basic check.
That's pretty good. It looks like it can be used again, obviously at each page, but you get the feeling that if you write on it, that it might come to life. It might be able to go somewhere and send a message to somebody else. The paper almost seems like it might be able to fly itself somewhere else and deliver a message for you. There's nothing else that stands out. Just an unused office. Chairs overturned and all that stuff, papers all over the place, and rats running around. So, not vermintide rats, but Alright, you guys can check it out.
Yeah, definitely worth grabbing. I mean, it seems I don't know if that we need it right now, but if we needed to send a message, it sounds like it would be functional for that. Yeah, I'd say throw it in your bag. You're the mule anyways. You're just gonna carry all the shit, Sako. All right, so we've checked.
I'm going to tell you guys what that is, because that was a bit of a full. I'll tell you the details of what you guys found there. And if it won't let me share it to you, that's what I'm just telling you what it is.
If you drag the little info button and drop it in the chat window, then we should be able to click it, and then we can read the, whatever the text is. If it's unidentified, so if it has a red thing on it, then you'll need to identify it first. Otherwise, it'll just say unidentified item.
The description was in here, and this also describes other magic items too, so I'll just give you guys a basic gist of it, because otherwise it would, might potentially ruin other stuff, because it has information on other magical items too. But what happens is you can write 50 words or fewer on this magic sheet of paper, and then you speak a creature's name of who you want it to be delivered to, and then the bird, or the paper turns into a bird and flies to that person, and if the bird's hit or anything like that on the way over there, it only has one hit point, so it can be destroyed. on the way if somebody gets to it, but otherwise it will go to its destination.
That's
And then
cool.
Once it gets to the destination, it's no longer alive, and once it gets to the destination, it'll fly in front of the person's hand, and then as soon as the recipient touches it, it turns to regular paper, but the paper cannot be unfolded by anybody else except for the recipient. And actually, since Eldor is the one that picked it up and has it in his bag, can you please roll a d6 for me? Perfect. Nice roll. So you guys have 9 sheets of paper. That's the most that you can get, because it's 1d6 plus 3 sheets of paper. And
That's cool.
Each sheet can only use once, so you guys have 9 messages you can send. I think you would your list.
The recipient can't reply, though, right? It's just basically we can send a message one way to them.
Yeah, and then once the recipient is done reading it and they let it go, and then once they let it out of their hands, it turns to ash and falls away.
Okay.
So no, it cannot be sent back and can't be reused.
That's handy.
You can add that to my inventory.
Yep. If there's a button forward on here, you can touch drag it on there.
Just make a note of it in your OneNote for now, and then we can add it afterwards, just to make sure that, because it sounds like the way you described it, I'm guessing that it's one page that has multiple items listed on it, not just that one.
If possible. I don't know if it's all attached to each other, but you said I have 9 sheets. I think it would be possible that I share that with our group, so we each have 3 sheets in case we communicate.
It doesn't say that you can't, so that's perfectly fine with me. Do you guys take them?
Yeah, as long as they don't have to be, held together, basically. If it's not like on one pad or something, then basically if it doesn't destroy them to each take 3, and that'll be a good idea. Thanks, Eldor.
President is peace.
No collusion.
While we were looking around, also another office that also reading some of the doors as well on all doors, and there's nothing that stands out, just desk and chairs and all that stuff, scattered papers and all that good stuff.
Okay. That went all robotic for a second, but it cleared up like in a few seconds, and I could still hear you throughout it, so that's good.
Nothing of importance.
Okay.
Office space.
So we've seen everything upstairs, right? So we're done up here. Like we know there's nothing else in here that's going to try to jump out at us.
And then when you guys came back upstairs, you didn't notice anything else that it seems on the rest of the balcony up here. There was other crates and stuff like that, but that was out in. So, upstairs.
Okay, then we should probably go back down and talk to Never Ember and get him out of here. See what he knows. All right, I'm gonna head back downstairs, back to Ghost.
Okay. And when you go back down, Ghost is still just standing there by the door. Like a good dog cat. Yeah, no.
I'll call through the door. Never Ember, it's safe. We've checked the place out. We can get you out of here.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there's nothing else going on, and there's only the one way in. So if anybody tries to break in through it, they're gonna have to go through us first.
Alright. Guess I'll come on out.
So some questions first. Then you were with Floon. You guys got jumped. It sounds like.
Yep, we were on the way home, and I was walking him home. I knew he had too much to drink, and I think seemed like it was about 5 guys or so had jumped us, put sacks over our heads, bound our hands, and carried us off for the night. Woke up here.
That pile of bodies over there. Any of them look familiar?
I'm not really sure, but I don't know exactly who those people are, but I've seen that tattoo. With a lot of men in town, that snake tattoo. So I don't know what the hell those guys are doing, but they're definitely causing trouble around here.
But the men that attacked you, we have reason to believe it was 5 of them. Are those 5, amongst the dead over there?
I don't think so. Yeah, those guys were all wearing street code.
All right. So he doesn't recognize the snake tattoo. Then he doesn't. He can't tell us what it is.
No, he just knows he's seen it on a lot of people around town. So
How about that black circle with the 10 spokes? It's on one of the guy's hands. Does he recognize that?
let's say you gotta double check and see what it says here. Oh,
Sure.
And, where he was when they got jumped, he says, before just a minute ago when you asked him, they were headed left on Clay Lane and they were going north towards Astrom when they got jumped. They were near Zovlov's shop.
Yeah, that would be, at least on the map anyways, that'd be near Zovlov's shop. Okay. So we could talk to him, see if he saw anything. But otherwise, I mean, it sounds like from what the... well, I mean, I guess I don't know if we have much more to ask this guy about, but from what the Kenku told us, though, he said follow the yellow signs in the sewers. Actually, I'm going to ask Neverember then, does he know what that means? Like, do you think they would have taken Floon to the sewers?
Let me double check. He says, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where they took him. And, because again, they thought he was me. And I think what it is that, they were trying to kidnap me for money, because the Zentarim guys, those are the guys with the snakes on their arm. Sorry, he didn't know. He says the guys with the snakes on their arms, those are the Zentarim. And they kidnapped me because they knew that my father embezzled a bunch of money from the open lord before, and then he stashed it somewhere. And they needed a certain artifact to find that money in the stone of the lore, and that was in the hands of Xanathar's guys recently. So, but it was been stolen, and the Zentarim guys thought that I knew where it was, and so they thought they kidnapped me, but they actually.
So the Zentarim kidnapped him. Okay, well, Zentarim are the ones that attacked him, but are the Zentarim the ones that took Floon then?
Yeah.
And that's who the snake are?
Yeah, the guys with the snakes on their arms, and I'm guessing they must have been the guys that kidnapped us because they knew that my dad took all that money, embezzled all that money. So I'm almost definite it's the Zentarim, and the guys with the snake tattoo was the symbol of the Zentarim.
Okay. Do they have like a base in the sewers or something? Is that why they would have went down there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that answers my questions. How about you guys? All right. How do we get into the sewers to go after them?
Stephanie for you guys. Find that. Because in the little thing here, the thing is set up to where you guys talk to this guy first, and then you go searching around, so I'm bouncing back and forth. One second.
All good. Dragons are the gold coins. They're called gold dragons. So where it says that he hid the dragon somewhere, he means gold. All right, so based on what he said, then it sounds like the Zentarim and the Xanathar Guild are fighting, and so if we know that the Zentarim are the ones with the snakes, then the guy with the tattoo and the other group, the 7 others, are probably the Xanathar. We don't know who the Kenku are or why they attacked, unless they're with one of those sides. We don't know. But if it sounds like there's fighting going on between the Zentarim and the Xanathar Guild, and we know that the Zentarim are the ones with the snake tattoo, so presumably the other one, which the circle with the 10 spokes, must be the Xanathar symbol. Unless that's just, a badge of rank or something like that.
Alright, I'll have to double check this. I got confused here, but actually it was Xanathar's guys that took Bloom, sorry, and took him to the sewers, yes. So, because I swear it says enter in there before, but on this next part when I skip forward it says that, it was the Xanathar guys that took Bloom. They you guys are looking for Xanathos guys.
Okay.
That's where Rainier thought that they took there because he knows the Xanathar guys have some a little hideout in the.
Okay. Then in that case, the Kenku were probably with Xanathar as well, because the Kenku, when we interrogated him, he said that bring him to the boss, go through the sewers, bring him to the boss, and that means that if the Xanathars have a place in the sewers, then the Kenku were with Xanathar's side. So that means it was like a 13. No, sorry. I guess it would be probably around an 11-ish. I guess depending on how many Kenku there were, if those escaped on 5. So the Zentarim attacked Rainier and Floon, brought them to this warehouse because we saw them. They were in the streets according to the Jerry. Attacked them in the streets, brought them to this warehouse, and then the Xanathar's guys attacked and kidnapped Floon and took him, thinking he was Rainier. Okay. Well, that answers my questions. How about you guys? So that means that our next target, I mean, we could go back to talk to Zoblob, because it sounds like it was outside of his shop that they were attacked, but I don't know that he's going to be able to give us much information other than potentially having seen that they were attacked. But our next target would be to get into the sewers. I mean, we can. It just, we could potentially even unload the, some of this stuff, and then head into the sewers afterwards. It could have been. He's near enough that they could have stolen from him. He didn't mention any kind of a break-in or anything, but we didn't really ask. All right. Well, Rainier, I mean, do you need help getting out of here? I mean, do you think you'll be safe in the streets, or do you want us an escort?
No. Well, if you guys just want to possibly get me a little bit closer outside the dock ward, I feel comfortable if you guys are heading that way. And if not, I'm sure I can make it. I'll be fine. Just get me out of this warehouse.
I mean, we're kind of.
I got in here, so I don't know where the doors are.
We're heading further into the dock ward if we're going to go back to Zoblob's shop. But, I mean, we can, by the map, I mean, we're close to the end of or outside of the dock ward. We could probably take him to the high street anyways. It's not that far.
He says that's good enough for me. I'll just head with you guys over towards Zoblob's, and then I'll just head off when I need to. I'm sure I'll be okay. It's in the middle of the day, so. Oh,
shit, we're right by the high street anyways. So as soon as you get off of Candle Lane, like, we can take him there. We can take him to the Way of the Dragon, which is, one of the 2 high roads. So I mean, he'd presumably be safe there because there's probably going to be like City Watch or whatever out there. All right, let's take him that way, I guess, guys, and then we can just turn around, because basically the street hits there, and then we can turn around and come right back down Zastro to go back to Zoblob's shop. All right, that's what we're going to do then, G. We're going to take him over to the Way of the Dragon and just get him to the street, and then he can, the main street, basically. He should be pretty safe from there. And we can head back down to get to Zoblob. Go ahead.
Alright. So you guys are going to start to head out and go towards Zoblob's and then take Rainier to the main street?
Yep.
Okay. Alright. And when you guys are getting ready to leave, the door opens up and you guys see... Actually, you guys see the City Watch start storming in through, because they actually kick the door down. They don't just go through it. They are coming in. Let's see what the hell is going on here. And he's got it. You see a guy who, based off of his clothing and stuff, you would assume is some kind of guard or captain or something like that of the guard, and he's got about 12 other guys with him. And he comes in, and he looks over, because they break down the door, and he looks over and says, "What the hell is going on here?" He sees all the bodies and looks up and sees you guys. He's like, "What the hell happened?"
Well, I mean, there was a fight. We came in looking for this guy here, and I'll point to the Lord just for the nobleman to hopefully use that for some credence, for some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some viability. Anyways, just, we came in here looking for him and a friend of ours, and we were attacked. So you see the bodies of the birds, that was us. The rest were here when we got here.
Alright, so you guys came in, there's already bodies over there, and then you guys killed those four bird creatures, and then who are you? up there with the nice clothes on. Who are you? And Rainier says, Rainier never remembered. He's like, oh, that's you. I didn't even recognize you so dirty. He's like, what the hell are you doing over here? And then Rainier explains the story and backs you guys up, saying that you guys had, he heard a bunch of commotion after he was getting ready to slip out, because it was quiet. I got kidnapped for a while, then he heard a bunch of commotion, comes out, and then he sees Ghost and Rob, and explains the rest of the story. Backs you guys up.
Yeah, so we were actually just on our way out. When, like I said, when we got here, the birds attacked us, so we took care of them. But the ones that were over there against the wall, they were here when we got here. It looks like a gang fight of some kind.
Looks over, you see most of the bodies, and his men are kind of checking stuff out with him too. And he looks and sees bodies over there, and he's like, another gang fight, huh? Probably the damn Centrum and Xanathar. Having such a hell of a time, they're fucking up the dock ward. I'm supposed to be keeping, it was my new post here to keep the dock ward safe, and they've been causing a lot of trouble. I know I don't like all that, but sometimes it might be easier just to let them kill each other off, I guess, right? Fucking assholes.
I mean, we're fine with that, but I mean, we're looking for a friend of ours that it sounds like the Xanathar's guide, or Xanathar's guild rather, has kidnapped. And his name is Floon, and the last info we have, it sounds like he was probably taken by the Xanathar's guild down into the sewers.
We know that Xanathars must have something going on down there. We see him popping in and out of there all the time. If you head up this way, and I'll tell you guys where it is in a minute. I just need to look up, and he gives you a general direction of where you might be able to get down the sewers. He says, I know I've seen him coming in and out of that area before. Might be able to go take a look over there. And normally I don't like people poking around in my area, but like I said, anybody that wants to help kill off some of these Xanathar and intermediates is fine with me, but if you get yourselves hurt, it's not my fault.
So he's insight check then. I mean, he's being truthful? He's not on the take. He's not being paid off or anything.
Yeah, go ahead. Insight, please.
I'm just curious if he's honest or if he's actually, just lying about, like, maybe he is a represent. I mean, it sounds like he's geared for, proper city watch and everything, right? He is representing as a city watch.
Yeah, I didn't tell by his draft said he's some kind of, he's not just a regular, some kind of captain or sergeant or whatever it is. So.
Okay.
And, with that insight check, you feel that he's kind of, an asshole, like the kind of cop that likes to, push his weight around, that kind of thing. But it doesn't seem like he seems like he's honest, but he just seems like he's mostly just concerned with his reputation and making sure, his boss doesn't fucking fire his ass because he just took over as the captain for this, or taking over as, the head guy for cleaning up the dock. So. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like a corrupt kind of guy. Like he might get too rough with people when he's arresting them, that kind of thing, but he doesn't seem like he's taking any bribes or anything.
All right, well, seems like you've got your work cut out for you. We're going to head on out.
Alright, he says, my name's Captain Staggett, by the way, and I appreciate you guys taking these guys out, but I don't really know what it is they're doing or what else you're doing, so just like we always say, keep a tight watch here in Waterdeep, so keep your noses clean. Secretary tells you, sure he told you guys to head to, but he told you guys the best way to get to the sewers.
Yeah, if we know, where he's told us they go in and out of, like, narratively, I would say, yeah, we could go drop off or at least go buy Zoblob and everything too. But one, because we didn't get much chance to play today for all the tech issues. but also just for the narrative sense of trying to get after Floon as quickly as possible. That might take more time than we would want to wait, or not waste, but otherwise spend, I guess, going back to Zoblobs first. Except carrying all the shit would probably be pretty heavy too. So up to you guys.
I mean, it's up to you guys if you wanted to drop that stuff off, and then also, I mean, it's your guys' choice, but it did get a little bit roughed up too. So if you guys probably could take a chance to chill out, for a minute.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, we could take a short rest at least anyways, so probably, yeah, maybe narratively we go by Zoblob shop and sell things and take a short rest before heading down to the sewers. What do you guys think? Would Zoblob buy those things, G, or is that not stuff that he'd be interested in? Obviously, we didn't tell Staggett about the paintings or the silver that we're stealing from that had been previously stolen.
Yeah, and just because there was nothing in there that even says anything about them even sniffing around for that, so we'll just assume that Eldor had those paintings. He just put them both hands behind his back and held the paintings behind his back so nobody could see it while they were standing there talking or something. So he didn't know what it is, you guys had. And it doesn't say anything in here about, because obviously you would assume they're stolen goods, but it doesn't say anything in specific, so then I'll say you guys can go check with Zoblob, and I'm sure he'll at least want some of it. So.
Okay.
Because you guys can just go ahead and sell it, and we'll just say, with the paintings, that he would just probably sell them off to other people, or just sell them in a shop. Then when it comes to the silver, probably just buy it. He's probably one of those paranoid people, so he wants to have some hardback money instead of just cash. So. Well, I guess it's all gold anyway, but either way, yeah. Because it doesn't say anything in there about you guys having any trouble trying to sell it, so I'm not gonna do that. So.
No problem. How much does he give us for all of it?
Good haul. Each painting is worth 75 gold, and each bar is worth 50. So.
Whoa. You sure?
That's what it says.
There were 15 bars? No, I believe you. That's a ton for a level 1. These would normally be level 1 or level 2, so that's 750 gold for just the for the bars. So it's 1,050 gold total for the paintings and the silver.
Yeah. So if you want to, we can just.
That's fine with me.
Because I know you guys said that you were going to need money and stuff anyway, so we'll just figure something out, because you guys are in the city all the time anyway, so we'll just. I don't know. I think that's fine with me, unless you think there's too much.
No, that's good. No, that's fine. It's 350 gold each. I mean, it could be weighted in a certain way. So just from a game developing standpoint, it could be that they kind of give a good chunk of money like that up front, and maybe there isn't as much money later on, with the purpose of, if you need to buy supplies to do some of the stuff later on, you need to have the kind of funding to be able to do that. And maybe that's how they intended it, basically. So and also they usually would be a little bit larger party too. So as opposed to 3, it'd usually be between 4 and 6. So it'd be split further ways. But that's 350 gold for each of us. So, G, if you want to apply the short rest to us, click the menu button in the bottom left corner of the combat tracker, and then it's on the left side. I think it's like a circle or something. You'll find rests, and then short rest versus long rest. Just apply the short rest, and I'm going to use some of my hit dice here. That's better. Yeah, that was a good roll. And Eldor was not injured, actually, so cool. All right, then in that case, after selling the stuff off to Zoblob, I wanted to talk to him a little bit more too, but again, for narrative concern, or for game concern, since we didn't get to play much, I wanted to head off to the sewers. What do you guys think? Did you want to talk to Zoblob?
Well, if you guys want to, I think Sako has to leave at 3:30 anyway, right? So if you guys want to, we can just finish off some narrative stuff, because there's a scene that's probably, there's something, once you guys do get down into the sewers, there's stuff that's probably going to take, well, it would definitely take longer than 10 minutes, so I don't want to start it and then have to stop it. So it's up to you guys. Just want to talk to Zalmab or something for now.
What do you think, Sako? Well, it's been like half an hour since we were by the first time.
I was gonna say it's still the same day, so that's when you guys are at Zombob's, you look over and see it's still not open yet. But when you look inside, it looks like it's fully set up, so you'd assume it's gonna be any day now.
Fantasy Costco is a or interdimensional inventory too. So if one has jar of bees, they all have jar of bees.
Okay, and what he had told you was that in one of the back alleys, when the guard told you the way that he's seen the people coming in and out of the sewers, in one of the back alleys, there's a manhole over there, and it looks like that's where they've been coming in and out of. So you guys, when you're ready, you guys do know where to start your search to descend into the sewers.
Okay. I just wanted to ask Oblob then, I guess, since we're not going to start the sewer part yet. I wanted to ask him where, if he had seen Floon and Rainier, a few nights ago.
Yeah, he says that actually a few nights ago he saw a couple of guys, one with red hair that you were there's one with red hair and then another guy with brown hair, and they were both dressed in really nice clothes, and they were walking down the street, and it looked like 4 or 5 guys came up behind him, like not far from the shop, out in front of the shop basically, and put bags over their head and grabbed their hands and bound them real quick and carried them off.
Did he recognize the 5 guys? Like, did they have any, identifying sigils or anything of that sort? It sounds like it was a Zentarum. It's just Rainier. Yeah, it sounds like. Oh, okay, good. It sounds like Rainier's just wrong. It sounds like they were the Zentarum that attacked him, and that the 5 in the warehouse were those same 5. And it sounds like Rainier just wasn't, either didn't know or was not telling the truth. I guess if he had a bag over his head, he might not have seen him.
Yeah, he says that he saw, it looked like about 5 guys. They were all wearing black leather armor, and he saw one of them had a black tattoo of a winged snake on his neck.
Okay. Yeah, so they were the Zentarum then. Okay, well, that's all I had for Zoblob.
Yeah, I'll go double check, but I'm pretty sure what it was too. I'll have to go back and look because that was the biggest part. But I think what it was is, I think the Zentarum actually took them to the warehouse, and then the Xanathar's guys found them there, and that's where the fight was, and that's where the bodies came from. I'm pretty sure it was what was supposed to happen, and then the Xanathar's guys stole Flume, thinking he was Rainier.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like that happened.
You would have known that, you would have known that because you would have looked over and saw that there was identifying, Xanatar tattoos and stuff on those guys. So I don't think that would have been like meta knowledge. I think that was something that I just forgot when I was looking through here because all the names and stuff sometimes I forgot or forget which is which. So I'm pretty sure what was supposed to actually happen. You guys would have been, told that. So.
Oh, good.
So, but it is Xanathar's guys for sure that stole.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, if we don't have time enough yet to start the next section, then we might as well just call it here, unless there's something else you guys want to do in town.
Alright, guys. Next week we'll go to.
Sounds good. Hopefully Discord will be working, but if not, let's plan on. I'll find a second instance of overtone so that we can set up the sounds in this one as well. But at least it'll be functional for us if we need to. So it'll be nice to have the backup either way.